We are continuing to track this winter weather. In terms of an update, based on information I received from my colleague meteorologist Abby Azell, we're starting to experience more freezing rain here in the Monroe and West Monroe areas compared to anything else. So we start out with the look at our Doppler 8 radar. I know many of you may be noticing the colors, the brighter colors you see farthest to the south. That is rain. So places like Natchez and much of Concordia Parish still dealing with rain. We also have heard within the last hour, Tallulah has still been dealing with rain. But then the areas you see in the pink, that is freezing rain based on the radar algorithm. It takes into account air temperature and if there's precipitation, and it gives us our best estimate of what we're seeing. And we're looking at, again, a lot of freezing rain in the pink across much of North Louisiana, anywhere along and north of Interstate 20 especially. The purple that you see, that's usually sleet. So those are usually the ice pellets that are falling from the sky. And we saw a lot of that not too long ago, more or less from 9:30 through about 10:20. We saw heavy amounts of sleet fall across West Monroe and across much of Ouachita Parish. That is what has likely led to a lot of the accumulation of ice along our highways and our area roadways and made for tough travel. But again, we are dealing with a wide range of weather. You're better off right now farther to the south and east, but if you're anywhere along Interstate 20 and north, you're dealing with the wintry weather. Now we'll zoom in just to show you that that pink is impacting much of Lincoln Parish and places like Ruston, Union Parish, and Farmerville, over toward Bastrop and Morehouse Parish, and even over toward East and West Carroll parishes as well. A little bit less so toward Winsboro. For instance, you may notice very light precipitation right now, and as of now, Caldwell Parish, you're dealing with fairly dry weather, but we're all expecting more wintry weather as we head through the overnight and also into early tomorrow morning. Again, you see more of the purple in place across South Arkansas near El Dorado. That is more likely sleet, those ice pellets that are falling from the sky. That can accumulate and make for slippery roads as well. So this is not your time to go outside and travel. And right now for places like Crossett, based on the radar, we're likely seeing freezing rain for you. But if you're in Longview, you're likely seeing a mixture of freezing rain and even sleet at this hour. As we look farther to the south and east, like at Vicksburg, you're still dealing with wet weather. Tallulah now, more pink starting to show up, so that colder air is finally reaching you. I suspect you're seeing a transition from rain to freezing rain right now. And freezing rain, just if you were confused about that and you wanted to know the difference, freezing rain is rain that freezes on contact with a cold surface. So right now temperatures are below freezing, and once that rain hits the ground, it'll likely freeze on contact, or if it reaches your car, it'll freeze on your car as well. But farther to the south and east, we're seeing more greens, yellows, oranges. That is rain at this point, but we are all expecting freezing rain or sleet over the next 12 to 22 hours. I mentioned Caldwell Parish, you're fairly quiet right now. Clarks, you're quiet. Winfield, you are quiet as well, but just to your north in Jonesboro, we are dealing with freezing rain at this hour. And when we take a wider view across the southern United States and focus on Louisiana, farther south, they're dealing with a lot of rain. So if you have any family or friends in Lafayette or Lake Charles, or even over toward Baton Rouge, they're dealing with more rain. But the farther north you go, the colder it gets. And that's why we're seeing that transition to wintry weather. Now, we are also noticing a break in the action to our south and west, and you'll notice the flow of moisture. It is moving in from the south and west right across our region. This break in this activity across eastern Texas, this will likely move in during the late afternoon, and that'll give us a brief break from the wet weather. But we still have a larger storm system that'll move through, and there's still plenty of moisture back to the south and west, and all of that will eventually sweep across Louisiana. So we are not done yet. But if you're concerned about how much longer we'll be dealing with this, we're talking about another 20 to 22 hours of wintry weather. So we've made it through a good 12 hours already. We just have to make it through a little bit more. So here's a look at our ice forecast still. This does take into account some of the precipitation we've already seen today. And we're still looking at amounts that could approach a half an inch, maybe even a little bit more. Also, based on recent observations, we've picked up anywhere from a half inch to an inch and a half of sleet and freezing rain already here at our TV station. So we know this weather is impacting you, and we still are expecting more ice. On the backside of this, as that colder air really starts to move in, we still have the chance for some light snow, but I suspect it'll mostly be across South Arkansas and less so into North Louisiana. And the farther south and east you go, the lighter the accumulations. But I still think it's possible that at least an inch or so of snow could accumulate for places like Crossett and El Dorado. as we head through the overnight into tomorrow morning. So as we talk a little bit more about the impacts, how much longer, again, we're really looking at about 22 more hours of this wintry weather. That's that falling precipitation. And then about 2 to 3 more days of brutal cold that'll be with us. And then what's next? The good news is we'll be slightly warmer Wednesday. And originally we were thinking that there may be another winter weather event as we head toward Friday. As of now, models have backed off on that, and that's a good thing. Let's take a look at temperatures though right now. We're dealing with the freezing rain and sleet because we have temperatures that are below freezing, at or below freezing. But places like Natchez, you're still dealing with rain because you're still a few degrees above freezing. But El Dorado, it is cold, it is icy. As our reporter David Roper mentioned, this is not the time to be out on the roads. Local authorities are encouraging you to stay inside. So let's take a look at what's on the way. This is 10 p.m. tonight. We'll likely see another surge of freezing rain. Again, that pink that you see on the map, that is freezing rain that's being estimated or forecast by our graph model. And as we head throughout the overnight, we may see some lulls in the activity even that time as well. But then another surge of moisture is expected as we head through early Sunday morning, and we'll still have temperatures well below freezing. So it's the combination of cold conditions and that moisture moving over us that's leading us to that freezing rain threat. And then as of now, this particular model doesn't have a whole lot of moisture after about 9 or 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that'll be a good thing. We could start to dry out. But just as we dry out, we'll still have temperatures near or below freezing. We'll see the wind pick up as well. And that's when that dangerously cold air begins to take shape and impact us. And again, we're talking about single-digit wind chills as we head toward Monday morning and potentially near zero, maybe even sub-zero wind chills as we head toward Tuesday. So let's take you to our 7-day forecast and just show you that we're still dealing with wintry weather through Sunday. We have dangerous cold on the way as we head toward Monday morning and Tuesday morning. We will see a break in the most extreme cold, but it still will be cold for us. But the good thing is we will be several degrees above freezing, and that should allow a lot of melting to take place as we head toward Tuesday afternoon and also into Wednesday and Thursday. And then as of now, Friday, still questions about whether or not we'll get precipitation, but things do look a little quieter as we head toward Saturday. And by Saturday, we'll be in the mid 40s. So I think some things to keep in mind. We're dealing with freezing rain now, so we still have the risk for power outages. My colleague Mallory West has already mentioned some areas dealing with power outages right now. So we will have to monitor and see how things progress through the evening. The good news is it does look like we'll get a lull in the activity for a few hours later on today, and that should help us assess what has happened so far. And then we'll just have to make it through another wave of moisture tonight into Sunday morning. So hang in there, try your best to stay relaxed. I know a lot of people are concerned about the potential risk of power outages, but we will get through this, and we will stay on top of the forecast here at KNOE and also stay on top of anything else that relates to this winter weather. But again, we'll be back with more updates as we head throughout the day.